What up guys, Michael here, and today I will be showing y'all a brand new exploit that I've been using for the last 3.5 months in live cash games. Now, this exploit has made me a lot of money. It saved me a lot of money in that I've not missed any value bets while using this exploit. Primarily, this is going to happen when you are in position facing a bet or facing a shove. This is your bread and butter once you use the exploit. Now, it involves speech play, so I know a lot of players don't like talking to other players, but it's a line of questions that you will ask the player in position. It's really a unique perspective on it. I came to this about just trying to perfect my speech play. This is how I came to it. I've tried to use it in certain scenarios, and it's worked very, very well for me. I've not heard about this from any courses, no coaches, no pros. No sites talk about this, and no books mention it either. It's more like physical tells, how fast they move chips and stuff like that. But if you know GTO, charts, positional play, you play the player, this is really going to give you a big, big edge on a lot of players. And I appreciate y'all watching this. And without further ado, I'm going to start the video, examine these two players, and then show y'all when to implement this exploit. Appreciate y'all watching.
The flesh, I'm out of position. You're just gonna raise me in this spot.
Why not?
So yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to kind of have more attention to detail with your question. You know what I mean? So if you have a set of fives, I would ask it. I would ask it right away, because Eric is gonna re-raise Kenny off the 13,000 to 29,000. And what do you think Eric has in that spot? You know what I mean? In Kenny's spot, if I'm in Kenny's spot, I'd be like, hey, if I call you, want to run it twice? Depending on his answer, I'm not going to bet anymore. You know what I mean? Maybe he does agree, and you can kind of see a flop without losing too much. But maybe you want to protect your hand. And I get it. You don't really put Eric on a flop flush, but you can use this in different scenarios. So like you have two pair and there's like a combo draw out there. Maybe they just have top pair and you can get more value out of them, but you're scared of the combo draw to come, so now you're playing more passive. So you can use this to think differently about different scenarios on different textured boards. But yeah, one of the things that I talk about is using run it twice as a strategic exploit. I just call it question theory because it's a line of questions that you have to ask in position. One of the questions that I ask a lot of the times, and it's common, is if I call, do you want to run it twice? It's not just table talk, it's a hand range probe. So when you use it, you should narrow their range down all the way down to what they have, compare their bet, compare your hand and the textured board, and then factor everything in. You're analyzing their logic behind their answers, so you have to put everything together and then make your decision. This is usually after you're faced with a bet or a shove, and then you ask the exploit question. It reveals their range. And then also too, if they're saying yes to your question that they want to run it twice, most of the time they're going to have combo draws, straight or flush draw. They're behind. Maybe they want to realize equity. They're comfortable with variance, so you have to keep in mind people that say yes, they're okay with stuff coming out because they have big draws. Often signals weaker or drawing hands. Know what no means to your question. They're strong and they want to maximize value. This is what possibly Eric could have said if he was presented with this line of question. Possibly bluffing and wants fold equity. That's what no could also mean. Not interested in splitting the win. They feel ahead. It's kind of cool to think about it on a deeper level for poker, because like I said, you could use this line of questions all the time and build more information off of regular players by building a portfolio on them, and the new players, because they'll be more open to your line of questions because they don't know how you play.
Why not?
I'll tell you why not. Because if you really have a flush, I'm probably gonna bet the turn.
Well, then the pot's so small.
So even right here, Eric
That's
is
the
making
29,000.
valid points,
You got
and
flush, huh?
Kenny's just kind of just answering just randomly, just not really thinking about too much. So then, yeah,
Flush. It's a monster.
Eric goes ahead and
Brent just
raises
called.
him,
He wants
I
to see if a
think,
club's going to come off on
29.
the turn.
At least we have a pot, right?
Yeah, he 3-bets to
Exactly.
29,000, and Kenny has 13K.
No pair on the turn.
From
club
the bet
either.
that he re-raised him off of.
62.
See, in Kenny's spot, I would have used it right off the bat. I would ask Eric,
Do you want
hey,
me to use ChatGPT to answer that?
right there in Kenny's spot, I would use it right away, the exploit. Hey, if I call, you want to run it twice. If he's presented with that question, I would want to see how he responds to it. If he says yes, if he says no, you can kind of differentiate variance with them saying yes or no. Also, too,
No problem per person. 62,000.
embeds 62,000 into
Having a good time.
128. That's like
I would guess that Brent's going to go all in.
50%
I'm
of
like
the
a superstar,
pie, a
the
little
world
bit
just don't know.
less. But like I said, Kenny has a set.
Brent just called.
Usually when you flop
He
a
needs to board the
set
pair.
on a flopped flush board like
I use
that,
Pull the
you're
River
not
now,
gonna
so committed.
put anybody on a flush or a flopped flush. Especially the image that Eric has. Eric is just gonna get paid off all the way down. That's where image play comes into play. But yeah, you could flip the dynamic by using my exploit. Depending on they say yes or no quickly, should tell you. There's like no longer guessing. It's a logic based speech play to narrow the range to avoid paying off really big hands. So that's how that works. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Kenny ends up losing the hand. He ends up calling him all the way down, losing like a lot of money. I think it's pretty unique. I love this concept, and hopefully y'all can assess and apply this to y'all's game in y'all's next session. I appreciate y'all, and hope y'all enjoy.